Hello, everybody. Hello. Today, January 28th, 2025. And your new Trends Journal's out. And here's the cover. It'll be out soon. Trump, President of the United States, or King of the World. Yep. Hey, I'm in charge. I'm in charge. Yeah, I got a lot of information in there in your Trends Journal. But anyway, let's look at the stock markets today. The Dow, NASDAQ, S&P 500, they all went up after a lousy yesterday. Yep, because of that DeepSeek, that Chinese artificial intelligence AI that you could get your stuff a lot cheaper with much cheaper chips and cost them hardly anything to put the thing like $6 million to make it. While the other ones with NVIDIA, you need those very expensive chips. So this is very serious. So the Dow gained, let's see, the S&P 1%, and the Dow was up 134 points, or 0.3%. And the NASDAQ was up 2%. Yesterday it was down over 3%. And they say all eyes are on NVIDIA. The stock rose 7%. It lost 17% yesterday. Almost $600 billion in value. The biggest loss in value in the history of the stock market, part one and part two. Again, this startup, DeepSeek, unveiled a free open source large language model that it says took less than $6 million to build with cheaper and less advanced chips. So what does this mean? We were the first magazine to forecast the dot-com bust. It's right there. When it used to be a quarterly, in the fall of 1999, we said it would crash by the second quarter of 2000, which it did in March. We said this dot-com, this whole AI is real. It's going to keep expanding. Trends are born, they grow, they mature, reach old age, and die. This thing was just really born, about 2 years ago. But a whole new game. One of your top trends this year is wild card. We said there are going to be a lot of wild cards this year that could affect the equity markets. And the wild card was just played out of China. Yep. It was just played out of China with DeepSeek. We could have the dot-com bust. As we have also been saying, as you all know, they're investing in all these companies in AI. Are they going to be over-investing in them? And now they've over-invested in a lot of them. We could be on the verge of a dot-com bust. And if the dot-com bust busts, the equity markets are going to crash, the global economy is going to crash, and there's nothing that they can do to prop it up, other than what they always do, make up something. What they do after the dot-com bust? Oh, the war on terror. You forgot that one? Everybody forgot it. That's what's going to happen. There's no way, they're going to try to jack it up by lowering interest rates. And by the way, the Fed's meeting tomorrow. They're probably not going to lower them this time. The bet on the streets, 99%, they're not going to lower them. But they're going to lower them more this year. But going back to the dot-com bust, this is real. This is real. And remember, the Biden administration cut off a lot of these high-priced chips going into China because they didn't want them to develop AI and other technology to advance the United States. And now they have. This is big because they're way over invested in gambling in all of these new AI tech companies. So this is important to watch to see where it's going to go. Bitcoin today was flat. It was up a bit, down a bit. Gold, let's see, what did gold go up? Oh, 21 bucks. What is it? $2,762 an ounce. And one of the reasons why it's going up is there's fear on the street. This is very important. Very important. It's up over 21 bucks an ounce. And Brent crude, it went up a little bit because there's a supply chain disruption in Libya. Yeah, the people are protesting against the crime syndicate that took over, following the other crimes. But anyway, but demand is going down in China, and China is the biggest importer of Brent crude. So Trump is going to do everything he can to push down the price of oil. We already know that. And then the economy is slowing down. Oil prices are going to go down. One of the things, again, the wild cards, is the Israel and Ukraine war heating up. Oh, and today it was just announced that the Biden administration sent more Patriot missiles to Ukraine and to Israel. Yeah. Oh, remember he was going to end the Ukraine war in 24 hours, Trump? Remember he said that? How about you're full of shit? Oh, don't you dare say that. Again, by their deeds you shall know them. How did he get away with this shit? Oh, then he said, oh, don't worry about that. After he got elected, the war's going to end even before I get in office. And now they just sent more missiles. But, and then you got to look what's going on over there, and it's in your Trends Journal. What's going over there in Lebanon? Let's see. Israel breaches ceasefire deal, killing spree in southern Lebanon as they refuse to withdraw. That's one of your articles in this week's Trends Journal. So not only did they renege on their ceasefire agreement, the number now is they've killed nearly 100 Lebanese and wounded well over 200 since the ceasefire deal. And now, well, they say they're going to stay in Syria, the land that they've taken over there as well. And this is from the Times of Israel. Trump doubles down on proposal to move Gazans, insists Egypt and Jordan will agree. Get him out of there. Get him out of there. Who the fuck are you to tell what should go on over there? Oh, I forgot. It's to cover the Trends Journal. When the king speaks, everybody must listen. U.S. President Donald Trump dug in his heels Monday over a controversial suggestion that large numbers of Gazans take refuge in Egypt and Jordan, shrugging off wall-to-wall opposition to the proposal from Arab leaders. Yep. Disgusting. But it's one of the articles in your Trends Journal. Again, this was just printed in the Israeli Times of Israel. Your article, of course, in your Trends Journal, Trump supports his son-in-law's ethnic cleansing of Gaza. Yeah. And let's go back to Jared Kushner. Oh, yeah. When Netanyahu used to come, he'd stay in Jared Kushner's room over there, the Kushner family. That Jared Kushner? Yeah. Who said that that's very valuable waterfront property? Oh, you forgot about that, huh? No one's saying that. We are. So that's what's going on. This war is going to keep ramping up. We don't see a ceasefire coming. we see Netanyahu ramping this thing up as times get worse. And again, goes back to oil prices. If they ramp up this war with Iran and the Ukraine war ramps up, which it looks like it is, you can see oil prices go way up. And again, other articles in your Trends Journal, consumer sentiment turns darker. Economic activity slowed as the new year began. Record number of consumers making only minimum credit card payments. Special report, the U.S. housing blues. And only the Trends Journal, nor the magazine, anywhere, any place. The office building bust and the banks go bust. It's coming soon. There are between, depending on whose numbers you look at, $2 to $4 trillion coming due this year, next year, in the whole commercial real estate sector, of which office buildings are a big part of that. Now let's look at the data. Google it up. Castle Systems with a K. Your office occupancy rate of the 10 largest cities in America, 49.7%. That's right. There's going to be defaults because they're not going to be renewing their leases. Again, the COVID war started what? 2020. Now here we are, 2025. Yep. The leases are all coming due now. They've been coming due. Now they're really coming due. And they're not renewing like they used to. So the owners of the buildings are not going to be able to have the money to pay off their loans. And the banks don't have the dough because when they pumped in all that cheap money during the COVID war, they bought treasuries. Yep. When interest rates are at zero. So they don't got the dough. That's some of what's in the Trends Journal. And again, special articles over here. There's one that you got to read from Gregory Mannarino. Economic breaking point. Yep. Will we get negative rates? Remember, they're going to do everything they can to pump up this equity market. And again, the lower interest rates go, the higher gold flies. And gold's flying. And by the way, we're still positive on Bitcoin. You know, it's still at $100,000 a coin. You know, oh my God. So if it goes down, you know, it's again, there's a whole Trends in Cryptos by Joe Duran. And again, Joe Duran, he's the technocracy man. Got some great books you want to read that he's written. And where are they? Oh, they're over there anyway. Be Human or Be Inhuman. You get them on, go to Amazon. And again, Trends in Geopolitics, Presidential Reality Show, Robert Barron's 2.0. That's who's in charge of America and much of the world. Yep. Anyway, Trends Eye Views. You ready for this? New study links smartphone use to hallucinations and aggression in teens. This is very important. As you all know, I don't have a cell phone. I got a flip phone that I hardly take with me, only when I travel. And I don't mean when I get in my car, like when I get on a plane, which I don't like to do anymore. And I got to go somewhere else. The teens are getting whacked out. It's the radio frequency radiation. You go back to the 2000s, middle of 2000s, they were banning cell phones to be used for younger people in France because your brain shield is thinner and that radiation goes in deeper. And according to the University of California at Berkeley, a study done by them, if you're on a cell phone for 17 minutes a day, for 10 years, your chances of getting a brain tumor only increase by 60%. So anyway, those are some of your articles in your Trends Journal. And again, trends in high-tech science, trends in AI, entire sections. And again, guest articles in here, and there's one you have to read by, wait, you have to read, but what comes next on the Greater Israeli Agenda by Phil Giraldi, former top CIA guy. This is the guy that went into Bush's office, little Georgie Bush with a pair of balls smaller than a cajon, eh? Yeah. Poor cajon smaller than mothballs, excuse me. Yeah, little piece of shit. He goes into Bush's office, says, look, Mr. President, we have proof there's no weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. Bush told him to leave the office, and Giraldi quit. What comes next on the Greater Israel Agenda? Dark chocolate may lower diabetes risks. Well, milk chocolate adds pounds. That's by Dr. Joseph Mercola. And by John and Nisha Whitehead of the Rutherford Institute. The Constitution has gone AWOL from presidential power grabs to martial law. And again, trends in technocracy, the whole section by Joe Duran. And on the economic front, what's going on over there in China, in the EU, with the Bank of Japan raising their interest rates, and the German and UK economies in all of Europe. And again, most importantly, stay tuned. We may be in for .com bust 2.0. This is for real. They're way over speculated, way over invested in the AI sector. We said this in the beginning that it would keep going. It would keep going, but there'd be wild cards. And China just dealt that wild card. Then again, we got to put the other trends back together and look at the geopolitical situation, what's going on in Israel, what's going on in Lebanon, what's going on in Syria, what will happen in Iran, and Ukraine. Again, why isn't Trump being called out for lying his way into office and saying he would end the Ukraine war in 24 hours, and then saying he would end it before he got into office? So this is very serious. And again, what's going on with this .com DeepSeek is very, very essential. Learn all you can about it. Again, Chinese startup DeepSeek is offering a free AI assistant that it claims to have trained, ready? They built this thing for $6 million instead of the 100 million plus for OpenAI. Yep. 6 million versus 100 million. So they're way over invested in these tech companies in the United States. There's going to be a lot of failures, one after another. And again, now we're looking again at the data coming in consumer sentiment, consumer spending, credit card debt. You're going to see a decline happening. It's on the way. What does it mean? You're going to see lower interest rates coming. And again, read Manarino's article. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow with Salenti and the Judge, Judge Andrew Napolitano, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. See you then.